Hello, hello and welcome. You're very welcome to begin putting some questions. It's a members stream, so do not worry about the emoji system. I just need to remove my background for a moment, but I'm here, so just push your questions and I'll be with you in 1 second, hopefully. Hello. Okay, so do you have... I know, I did a stream yesterday, so you may remember, I do have the same cards. Just getting my chat. So because I have the door, window open, sorry, the door may slam a few times, and I'm really sorry about that. Maybe if I prop it open, it might be okay. Didn't have anything heavy enough to put against the door. I tried it. On one of the last streams, I tried to put something in front of the door, and it was too light, and it just knocked it over. But yeah, sorry. So cards. So cards. We have angel cards, unicorn cards. Which crystal should I use? I won't show that because it does have the picture of the crystal on that. Shadow Healing, Druid Wisdom, Spirit Animal, and Romance Angels for the love cards today. So it's the same as last time. It is the same as last time. But questions as well, again, as well for the crystal ball questions as well. So let's see, and just be respectful, we won't have to use the emoji system, but it's not too many members. I think there's like 16 members, so it's... Oh, Pooja rejoined. Thank you, amazing. Welcome back. There's about 16, maybe 17 members, so you can... as long as you're respectful and making sure, so when you post a question, just give a few other people a chance to post a question. But yeah, because there's not that many of us, we may not need to use that. I might use that if I feel like someone's kind of hogging the chat or something like that, but we should be okay. So hello to everyone saying hello, and let me get into it now. So we have Jan says energy check. What are Caden's current thoughts and feelings about me and the connection? What are his intentions? Okay. So I can see that there are very positive feelings at the forefront. There are very positive feelings at the forefront. Um, the, there does still seem to be a little bit of a hesitation in terms of intentions. It's almost like I'm thinking about what I should do. I'm thinking about what my intentions are. I'm thinking about what my plans are and what my next actions are. There does seem to be a lot of communication. So a lot of kind of, should I say this? Shouldn't I say this? Like thinking about what to and what to or maybe what not to say. So that's kind of like the intention at the moment, or the planning at the moment, kind of revolves around what to and what not to say, what to open up about and what not to open up about. So in terms of feelings, they are very forefront, they are very present. So I think that's the most positive thing about it, is that it's very conscious, it's very forefront, but it's the hesitation, the kind of, that energy still being there, that's maybe annoying, I might even say. Excuse me. Jasmine, Phil told me he saw me before I saw him, before we actually met. Did he lie to me about just viewing as his neighbour at the time, or was he interested in me? Phil told me he saw me before I saw him, before we actually met. Did he lie to me about just viewing me as his neighbour at the time, or was he interested in me first and doesn't want me to know that? Okay. Yes, so there was something there. It may have been much smaller, but there was something there. There was like a recognition of some attraction or some feelings there. Sid, did I cleanse properly after my shopping delivery, and did my spirits help me cleanse? Is the energy all good and positive in my flat? Okay, let's check. Yes, the energies do look good, and there is a few spirits that seem to have helped. Two spirits coming forward to say yes, we helped. Shayna, should I give Keith the Libra a chance? Okay. Okay, I'm guessing a yes on that. Delphine, energy check. What are P's current thoughts and feeling? Current feelings, sorry, for our connection today. What will happen next? Okay. Current feelings for our connection today. What will happen next? Okay. Current feelings do seem quite positive, so it's difficult to say. I know a lot of the time I give this positive but passive kind of phrase, because it's positive but it seems in the back of the mind. It doesn't seem like that. It seems positive. It seems like it's in the forefront of the mind, but it doesn't seem like overwhelmingly positive. It's not like super, like in your face kind of positive, but there's also nothing negative. So it is kind of like that neutral kind of in a sense, where it's not overwhelmingly positive. I would say a bit more than neutral, but if you kind of get what I'm trying to like gauge it here, it's a bit more than neutral, but it's not, super excited kind of positive energy. So that's kind of how the feelings are feeling. Yeah, how the feelings are feeling. What will happen next? So, in terms of what will happen next, so we could there are different things that we can look at there, like um, communication, meetings, things like that. So, what if you wanted to give, let me know what you want me to look at there. The energy, Miss Venus, sorry, the energies for a while have been indicating May as a cut-off point for meeting my soulmate. Is May still a cut-off point, or is there a change in the timeline? Okay. Yes, it's a pretty imminent feeling of energy. It does seem that it's still very, very imminent. It's still in this, um, you know, current chapter. I wouldn't say like near future. I wouldn't say distant future. It seems very, very imminent. Like it seems like you could meet tomorrow. You could meet. So it still looks very imminent. There doesn't seem to be like a block or anything like that. So, I know one thing that did get my attention or did interest me was the rune that you got. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you got the um, blocks on your path are just delays, um, which I did find quite interesting. But as far as what I'm seeing in the crystal ball, I really am still guessing that it's like an imminent thing. It could be later on today, it could be like tomorrow. So, um, but I did find that interesting. But I'm not seeing anything like a block, or anything like that. So it looks pretty imminent is the best word I can use to say that. Jan, is Heart to Heart still happening next week? And if not, when is the next most excuse me, next most prominent date? Yes, I'm seeing like a kind of 3 week kind of time frame there. So, um, yeah, so it's more of a time frame than specifically it's going to be in that 1 week, but 3 weeks is the time frame that I'm getting there. Domini, what can I expect next between me and A? No contact, friend of mine. Okay, what can I expect next between me and A? Okay. Sorry, I feel like that music was going a little bit crazy. Um, what can I expect next between me and A? So there does seem to be reconnecting. It does seem quite prominent reconnecting, but it just doesn't seem to be soon. It doesn't seem to be, in this current chapter or in this near future. But reconnecting does look prominent. Miss Venus, you told me yesterday that Omar has plans to take me for a meal. What does he want to? Why does he want to do this? What does he expect from this plan? Okay. it seems like it seems like invite to plans to invite you, you know, to yeah, invite you out. Plans to invite you out have been on his mind for a short while, not too long, a short while, um, and it seems kind of to be this kind of, I don't know if nostalgic would be the right word, since it seems strange to say it because you know, it wasn't too long ago that you guys were dating and things like that. So, but that's, you know what I mean. So like missing that connection, missing your like presence and things like that. It is really coming up there. So it does seem to be there's been a plan for a little while of inviting you out somewhere for a meal, most prominently. Um, and yeah, so like missing you, feeling a little bit nostalgic about those times, even though they weren't too long ago. It feels strange to say nostalgic about things that were quite in the recent past. Um, Jasmine, what exactly did he give up on and stop chasing before he decided his son? What exactly did he give up on and stop chasing before he decided his son is his only purpose and motivation? It's interesting because how it kind of seems here. So it seems kind of like there is a almost like a losing. I think this is the right phrase to use. Like like losing the kind of zest for life, if that makes sense. So you know, I think a lot of the time we're chasing kind of goals with whether it's creative projects or trying to make money or um, you know, trying to just do fun things in our spare time, like live our lives, you know. It seems like there's kind of a closing down of all of those things, um, whichever kind of thing he was chasing at the time. So, you know, like the work path, trying to do really well, like he said, for some of us it's creative, you know, trying to do like different hobbies, read different things, like learn more. For some of us it's like traveling, trying to see as many places as possible. But we have that kind of that zest for life, like always trying to do something, always trying to go somewhere, and it seems like that's really been minimized and kind of closed down. So it's not doesn't necessarily seem to be a giving up on any one particular thing, but does seem to be kind of like a losing a spark in a sense, losing a spark. Delphine, what is the current energy about me at work since I've been away? What's the current energy about me at work since I've been away? Um, I'm not really sure that I understand the question, and I think it might just be because I'm a bit silly. But current energy about me at work since I've been away. Does that mean? Do you mean like? Do you mean like how people view you since you've been away, or do you mean? Yeah, I'm just not really sure. I'm so sorry. I'm just not really sure about that. If you could just rephrase it in a simple terms for me to understand. Um, so not that it isn't simple already. It's just me being silly. But Jan did Caden lie to me on the night of the 19th when he said he was going to sleep so he can hang out with or did she pressure him into calling due to her being upset? So it does look like there was some communication. It seems like messaging, as opposed to like a calling or something. Her after communicating with you, but like text message kind of thing. Um, with not with intention to call, so not with intention to call, and with intention to go to sleep. So it does seem like there was intention there to sleep. So it's not um, intended to be a lie. And Pooja, may I know how his Ern's relationship life is currently going on? Okay. So it's a little bit rocky. I don't think he is single, but there's definitely tension and kind of maybe even breaks being taken. Tension, rockiness, misalignment, and possibly breaks being taken. It seems like distant, a lot of distance. It might just be emotional distance, but could even be like taking a break. Kevin, is the bay leaf I tried for job placement in Europe and the love connection with A on the full moon working? Okay, so bay leaf for job placement in Europe and love connection with A. Okay. Okay, so I can sense, pick up energies of the work placement that does feel, like it's there. Um, but in terms of the connection with A, I'm not feeling anything from that. But do bear in mind that can be normal. So energies can take a while to settle, and sometimes it's weeks as well. So if you can pick up the energy of a spell or affirmation or a manifestation, if or someone with a crystal ball can pick it up, with like within the month of it being cast, that's a pretty good sign. It's quite normal for energies not to settle right away. It's quite normal to not be able to pick things up if they were cast quite recently, if that makes sense. But it can pick up the job placement, so that's really good because that's um, obviously strong energy of that, strong prominence of that. Damini says Shadow Healing card. Reject. Dismissing options too quickly can lead to neglecting important information. By taking time, the truth will become apparent and you will view the situation in a different light. So, dismissing options too quickly can lead to neglecting important information. So, yeah, kind of like doing due diligence, really looking into things before you fully dismiss them. Making sure you're, researching, considering all options and taking time with things. So sometimes this is a good message if we're rushing a little bit or if we're kind of not paying enough attention, you don't want to neglect important information. So by taking time, the truth will become apparent and you will view the situation in a different light. So just make sure you're being quite thorough at the moment. Being quite thorough. Shayna, what is the current time frame for meeting a new soulmate? Okay. that's like really, really murky, and I actually can't get a time frame on that at the moment. Let me write this in. Sometimes when this happens, sometimes I can ask in a different way, but when it's such a straightforward, like to the point kind of question, can't really do that. So let me just time frame for meeting a new soulmate. So what I would do if you can't ask it in a different way, I would just re-ask after a little bit of time, because yeah, it's a very straightforward question. You can't really ask that in a different way. So I'm just reminding myself to try that again. It does happen sometimes. I mean, you don't get every single question come through, but it's always good to try again. What are Ashish feelings and intentions towards me? So sorry, Ashish's. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, but what are A's feelings and intentions towards me? Okay. Okay, so there's a little bit of interest there. It's kind of like, what do they call that? Interests being piqued. Is that the right word to use? Yeah, it seems very like small, very new, very like maybe a little thing, but there's some interest there. John, for a bit of clarity on my question from yesterday, why was speaking to Kaizen about getting gifts for his parents? Why was speaking to Kaizen about getting gifts for his parents? Okay. Sorry if you hear my stomach grumbling there. So sorry. So I'm not really seeing anything for that one either. It, perhaps it's more simply because she, well, as we know, she is trying to get very close to him. So it could be a just a further kind of, I suppose, technique kind of thing to do that. Sorry, just my nose is running a little bit, so I don't want that to be on camera. But yeah, I'm not really guessing anything like come through for that. But I would say it could be a trying to get kind of closer kind of thing. Delphine, does G miss me, and do they want me to reach out? Okay. Does G miss me, and do they want me to reach out? Okay. So there may be something there with missing, but I'm guessing no to wanting you to reach out. Sid, if I pay for a picture of what N looks like and the info with it from an Etsy seller, will I get it of N, or will it be another spirit I get instead, as there are mixed reviews on the spirit drawings. Okay, Sid, the best thing to do would be to send me a message. So if you choose, because I could check it now and it could give me information of this certain person you're thinking about, or it could give me information on the person you end up going to, if you change your mind and end up going somewhere else. So just let me know the actual seller, send me a message. You don't have to put it here, but send me a message and I will make sure I double check on that one. Jan, energy check for them. What are Kaizen's feelings and thoughts over and his intentions, if any? Okay. Thank you, Leon. Hello. Although the feelings are low, there is some positive, like, energy, emotion there. There's quite a comfort feeling, like a feeling of comfort there as well. So there's positive energy, there's feeling of comfort, and there's a little bit of kind of a niggling as well in the background of kind of like being a bit, how would you say, like sensitive or triggered or annoyed in a sense as well. But that does seem to be a little bit in the background at the moment, so you can keep a check on that. Can keep a check on that. Intentions, or check intentions. Yeah, intentions seem very go with the flow. There doesn't really seem to be like a set plan, a set process, anything like that. It does seem very, very go with the flow. Pooja, how does Anne feel about the thoughts of me getting married to someone else? There doesn't seem to be much thought about that, much contemplation about that. Kevin, what are Talia's thoughts about me? How was he feeling after I sent him a romantic reel? Okay, so thoughts and feelings about you are positive. There does seem to be a lot of positive energy there. There does seem to be kind of a compatibility there. It does seem to be like a nice kind of energy, even on just like a friendship kind of level. There's like a compatibility there. But feelings after I sent him a romantic reel. So I'm not getting overwhelming positive or negative there. It seems quite neutral. It seems quite kind of middle of the path kind of energy, like kind of neutral. Yeah, I thought something else was coming through there, but no. Sid, will I need to get netting on my balcony to keep the pigeons from coming back and nesting on my balcony? Will I need to get netting on my balcony to keep pigeons from coming back and nesting on my balcony? I'm guessing a no on that. I'm just noting at the moment that I'm up to, it's going to say I'm up to Kiev, up to Shayna there. Because I just need to do something, and I'm sorry if this... I'm going to turn... I need to set an alarm, but I'm going to turn the volume down, so hopefully it doesn't go crazy. I think that should be okay. Shayna, what are Keith's true intentions towards me? Okay, so the first thing that comes through is this unfinished feeling, this feeling like things are unfinished. So that's interesting. Unfinished is really what's coming through there. Yeah, there seems to be kind of like a yearning for like a closeness, like things becoming closer. So there's some thought about that, about kind of bridging a gap, bridging some gap, overcoming something like that. Damini, new soulmate, whoever is coming towards me, a hint about him. So what do you want to know there? Do you think oh, Miss Venus sent you a question through Facebook. I will check that now. Looks, time they will come to you. Do please, you can ask as many questions as you like, but please do try to be a little bit more specific, because it just helps, because I don't want to be checking the wrong thing or anything like that, or I'll check like what time this person's coming along, and well, you maybe wanted to know what they do for work or what they look like or something like that. So do just try to be a bit more specific if you can. You can ask as many questions as you like. Yeah, I'll wait for the Facebook to load there. Jan, what is the thing that Kazan needed to do on the night of the 20th? He told me before we called he'd have to leave because he has something he needs to do, which I suspect was hanging with M afterwards. Okay. Yes, I'm getting hanging with M there. I'm getting that. Kevin, what can I expect with A in June? Any improvements or something to look forward to? Okay. Yes, it does look like communication. Communication has a high prominence of picking up, and that kind of going back to that less. So where there was kind of this coming out of this hesitation, coming out of this kind of hesitance, coming out of this kind of hesitance, It seems like going back to that, so going back onto the path of coming out of that hesitance, it seems quite prominent. So hopefully it can be for longer and coming to more conclusions, you know, or being more honest with oneself, or because I muted myself then, being more honest with oneself and, you know, allowing that to go a little bit further before pulling back again, because it does feel like stepping forward again. So yeah, we can keep a check on that when that occurs, but it does look like a good prominence of that forward motion kind of coming back. Jasmine, did he know I was young at the time and it would cause conflict, and that's why he didn't act on it? And is that why I didn't notice him until I turned 21? I feel like that was a divine timing thing. Did he know I was young at the time and it would cause conflict, and that's why he didn't act on it? And is that why I didn't notice him until I turned 21? I feel like that was a divine timing thing. Yes. Guessing yes on that. Pooja, when can I expect start of my new career? It's been a while. I am on a break. Closed the old cycles. Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing end of July with that. And Delphine, has P moved on? No, although there does seem to be attempts to, or at least thinking about her. There does seem to be something there, like some attempts being made, some trying, some thinking about that at least. Miss Venus, my friend Lino told me he's been struggling internally with love and he hasn't shared with anyone, and it was not something that he needed to share with me. Why he shares everything with me. My friend Lino told me he's been struggling internally with love and he hasn't shared with anyone, and it was not something that he needed to share with me. Why he shares everything with me. Okay. Yeah, so there seems to be a bit of a romantic desire, romantic feelings for someone who, there's a very kind of friendship energy, friendship level, friendship kind of thing here. So it seems like there's a bit of a, there's almost like, it's almost like being in denial about the feelings. So it's almost like not wanting to come to terms with the feelings himself. So it's very kind of, it seems very, I think you actually said it, well, struggling internally. Yeah, it feels very kind of like in a turmoil kind of thing. That he's friends with this person, he doesn't kind of want to ruin that, but also there is not kind of not really wanting to come to terms with those feelings himself as well. So being kind of yeah, in denial, I think I said, which in denial is really like a feeling here, like being in denial. John, will Caden and continue to have nearly daily calls, or do you see Caden distancing himself? Have they had any recent one-on-one calls outside of the one on the 19th? Will Caden and continue to have nearly daily calls, or do you see Caden distancing himself? Have they had any recent one-on-one calls outside of the one on the 19th? Okay. Yeah, so there does seem to be one other call. And there does kind of continue to be this desire to distance, this desire to, and even kind of attempts at times, kind of, I would say, attempts at boundaries more than completely closing the connection, more like kind of attempts at boundaries. But yeah, it kind of seems like this. It kind of seems like it will kind of continue like that for a little bit, where he is, I suppose in a way it's maybe being really polite about the things he's not happy about, or being really polite about where the kind of boundaries are, in a sense, like kind of a politeness or a, yeah, maybe best describe it as a politeness. So yeah, it does seem like he wants to distance things, and that he's kind of trying in maybe quite subtle, like gentle kind of ways. And it does seem like that's quite continuous. But yes, that will continue. I'm Kevin, a card of my choice. Okay. I don't think I've pulled a which crystal should you work with for you. Or not recently, at least, I don't think. So here we are. I don't know if anyone has one of these. Bismuth. So what is it? It's an iridescent crystalline metal with a stair-step structure that forms when the liquid bismuth cools. Bismuth's energy is focusing, conductive, and awakening. So who needs it? The easily distracted, or people who get quite bored or burnt out. Where to put it? On your desk in Silicon Valley, or in your utility belt. Okay. Interesting. So on your desk, even if you're not at Silicon Valley. But yes, I think it's interesting because although it's a man-made crystal, a lot of people do use it, for meditation and awakening. The star kind of structure of it is supposed to be symbolic of, kind of leveling up in a sense, like going up that stairway. So once you use it, for those looking for some, wait, no, I don't like some of the things on this card are very kind of, they're just too, they swear, and it's too kind of trying to be too current, talking about no, I won't say. So it says when to use it, but here it's saying how to use it. So put on your forehead whilst taking powerful breaths. Break out when you want to break out of tired or grey thought patterns and get en route to a more colourful, energised life. So yeah, that's when to use it. But to use it, put it on your forehead and take powerful breaths. I've never had that one. For that. Who's your angel card? Oh, career transition. Career transition. Archangel Cameo? I'm not really sure, but you can see that, I'm sure, if you want to research them. Your life purpose is triggering. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So that's interesting. Jasmine, currently he is dancing around the fact that I told him I'm in love with him. What are his intentions with me at the moment? So there are intentions to explore this. There is this kind of energy of feeling like I want to slow things down a little bit, kind of take a step back a little bit, but in the sense of just not in the sense of not take a step back like distance from you, but take a step back in terms of not going in with like I love you. Like it doesn't really feel like that he's like ready for that, but it does feel like he wants to explore this. He wants to kind of keep things balanced, keep things good. You know, there's definitely an intention to keep things good and to try to keep to like a regular communication and also meeting and things like that do really seem to be on his mind, and there is intention to explore that. Miss Venus, has my twin flame finally decided to move on, talking with someone else? What are his thoughts and feelings regarding me? Okay. Yeah, there is quite a strong energy of forward momentum, of wanting to move on, of wanting to go forward. There is quite a strong energy of that. Thoughts and feelings regarding you. There's a regret energy, but there's also not really feeling good enough, not really feeling kind of, not really feeling like I can, like I have what it takes to make things work, if that makes sense. Like, so sorry. Um, but yeah, so there is energy of moving on. Um, there is strong energy of wanting to move on, but there's still kind of that there's energy of wanting to move on, feeling like it's simpler or easier in a sense. But there is this something there that keeps kind of, you know, that pulling to backwards kind of thing, which I think makes sense when you know that they're a twin flame, but when when they're maybe not completely aware of that or not completely accepting of that or something like that, I think that there can be kind of issues in a sense, you know, when you're kind of in denial or don't know what you either don't know or in denial of why you can't quite move on from something. I think it's you know it causes issues. Jan, what can I expect from Kaden next month? Hopefully it will be positive as it's my birthday month. Okay. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of sorry, I'm seeing a lot of possibility, a lot of kind of open energy, a lot of options here. Calls, messages, all of those things. Um, Getting a little bit deeper into into communication, not kind of surface level. You know, yeah, calling, messages, everything like that. Picking up pace a little bit as well. There's a lot of kind of open energy, open opportunity with you guys, which is quite common. I do see that a lot, like the open energy with you guys. Aries, am I going to see my guy at all this weekend, and if so, what day? Yes, so I'm guessing Sunday come through was most prominent there. Pooja, what were and Mum's thoughts about me earlier? So I get like a positive energy here, but I don't get much more than that. Delphine, did Piers' mum have anything to do with our connection falling apart? No, I'm guessing a no on that. Miss Venus, what's my most prominent timeline in love for June? Since May is almost over, I feel like people are popping up out of nowhere, except for my soulmate. Oh. Most prominent timeline for love in June. So, looking at okay, so looking at some people showing interest, or looking at, do you mean if it's not the end of this month that the soulmate reaches out, then am I looking at next prominence of reaching out? Is that what you mean? Sorry. Jasmine, why does he keep saying he wants to see me but not following through with it? Why is he taking so long? And when is the next time I can expect to see him? So it does seem to be, there is some of that kind of, there is some kind of hesitation energy that does come from making a decision on the love path. So, I'm not going to say it's all about other things, that it's all about being busy, because even the most busiest of people can take time to meet someone, especially when they have romantic interests. So, of course we can't overlook that. There is a little bit of kind of that kind of energy like that. Um, I don't. I won't say doubts, but kind of like maybe overthinking, maybe um, things like that. But I do feel like there's doubts, but there is a busyness that comes through, like a being busy kind of. There's a busyness, but there's also like kind of a making excuses as well. Like there definitely is time. There definitely has been time. Definitely does seem to be kind of a bit of a worry. A bit of a worry. But I don't really feel like it's doubt. Like I don't really feel like it's doubting you or doubting the connection. I do feel like there's a bit more of a worry, maybe about meeting like expectations, maybe about you know um, the connection, or maybe about what. I'm not really sure about what, but there's a little bit of kind of worry energy. But yeah, so what I really do see that is that it's not like doubting you or doubting the connection or anything like that. It's not kind of like, oh, we should meet, and then, oh, actually, I'm not really that into her. It's not like that. But there does seem to be a little bit of worry there. So it could be like lack of self-confidence. It could be, you know, procrastinating in a sense, because we can do that, you know, even when, you know, it's something that, I mean, it's been a long time, and I think, like, you know, it's not exactly like it's early days, if that makes sense. Um, so when can I expect to see him next? When can I expect to see him next? So I'm guessing a 2 to 3 week time frame on that. Jan, during one of our recent calls, we were talking about memory and said I remember vividly when he came down to visit me. Does Caden also remember this vividly? He didn't answer when I gave that example. Yes, I guess a yes on that. Pooja, what were Anne's thoughts when I told him that I am searching for a new career path other than finance, something entirely new? So it does seem to be like kind of an intrigue energy, like, you know, I'm a little bit intrigued, like what, how that will end up, what you will do, and all those things. But it's also kind of like a supportive kind of energy as well, like thinking that you, you're kind of, I don't know how to say it, like capable, maybe, like you know, like you could try your hand at many things. So there is that kind of energy as well. Delphine, what are my colleagues' thoughts about me since I have not been able to work for a week? What are my colleagues' thoughts about me since I have not been able to work for a week? So there is some bitter energy coming through here. There is a little bit of kind of bitter energy coming through. This feels like it comes from more from female energy. Some kind of bitterness coming through. But overall, and kind of overwhelmingly in a sense, there's positive energy that is kind of like, almost feels like support, or maybe understanding or comfort or something like that. It does feel like it's more positive than not, but there is a bit of kind of like bitterness coming through, like I said, which does feel to be linked to a female energy. So I don't know if that resonates with you. But uh, over overwhelmingly, more, you know, more prominently, there is positive energy, which is always nice to see. Swatha, hello. Hi Venus, I'm looking for a job. Please can you tell me when I will get a full-time software remote job? Will it be a remote job? Okay, so we could look at, let's just look at remote then, if that's what you want. Let's look at the prominence for that and when that would be. Okay, so I'm seeing prominence on that, but what's really coming through, like the highest prominence for remote, it looks to be like around the end of August. The end of August. So yeah, if you're, I mean, if you're applying for things that are remote and that aren't remote, then it may just be a case of having to wait a little. longer to get that right one, that one that you really want. Miss Venus, to clarify, Umar is thinking of taking me out because of nostalgia, but is a friendly catch up. Does he think he owes me something, or is it romantic picking up? Oh yeah, sorry if I did not say that. Yeah, there's definitely like a romantic feeling to that. Yes, absolutely. Sorry about that. Um, Jan, I noticed Kaizen staying up all night and ghosted me instead of hanging out like we talked about last call. Why is this? Oh, sorry. Right, I'll be right back. I won't be a moment, but I have to put some things in for tea. So I'm so sorry. So I'll only be about 5 minutes, just nipping down the stairs. And then when I get back, I have about, well, I have until Leon comes home when I get back. When I get back up. So just bear with me for one moment. Sorry about that. Jan, I remember that I'm on your message there, so hopefully that stays where it is. Sorry. Oh yeah. It was my music. Music then. Okay. So, so Jan, sorry. I noticed Caden stayed up all night and ghosted me instead of hanging out, like we talked about. So why is this? Okay. So there is gaming with other people, gaming with other people. So I'm sorry that he ghosted you. It's not great. His behavior, actions, things like that. So do you see me buying? Why do they keep? Oh, do you know what? I was thinking, like, why do this music sound so like quick and strange? And it's because when I had an audiobook playing, I had it at like double speed. You know when the audiobook's too slow and I can't turn the volume down. The audiobook's too slow, so you like put the speed up. How did I not notice that for like 2 videos? Sorry. Do you see me buying a home in this year? Do you see me buying a home in this year? Okay. No, that comes as no. Shayna, time frame for meeting someone new, a soulmate. Yeah, so I posted that myself to remind myself. So okay, something is coming through now. So I'm getting a prominent energy for July time. It seems like the end of July, but I'm getting prominent energy for July. Pooja, what could be the outcome of the conflict between my family and my uncle on the family property matter? What could be the outcome of the conflict between my family and my uncle on the family property matter? So hard. Yeah, so it's quite disheartening to see because the energy of kind of like resolution and kind of coming to a kind of a mutual kind of like thing looks quite low prominence. Like it looks quite yeah, it doesn't look nice, it looks very tense, doesn't look very nice. It looks very low on like coming to like a resolution that everyone's kind of happy with, if that makes sense. So it does look like a bit of struggle, it does look like a bit of kind of back and forth. It looks like kind of drawn out, like it looks like a very drawn out thing. That could be, years, maybe. Like it looks like a very long, I'm just seeing like tension, drawn out, and all of these things. So that's really not nice, especially like when it's between family and things like that. I hope, pray, wish for everyone to like get along and resolve their issues and all of that. So really hoping that can happen, even though it doesn't look highly prominent at the moment. Yeah, so Shayna says, maybe if I ask in this way, what are the chances of me meeting my new soulmate in the next 8 months? So I will also ask that, even though I just did my one and got July for meeting someone. Let's do chances of meeting soulmate in the next 8 months, okay? So I'll give like a percentage prominence on that. Yeah, I would say this. I would say this is like 85, maybe higher. So I think you do have a good prominence of that. Delphine, do you still see a potential for an engagement or commitment for me by the end of the year, beginning of next year? Yes. Okay, yes on that. And Leon, is Leon here? Leon, just keep me updated on Messenger. Sorry about my nose, guys. If it's not my throat, it's, you know, it's not one thing, it's the other thing. Leon, keep me updated on where you are at. When Leon gets in, I will finish. But I timed this stream quite bad, and my original plan was to move it forward if I was able to today. But sorry, excuse me. I'm so sorry. So sorry if that was loud. But I just wasn't able to do that today. I thought like maybe if I get enough done, I can move it forward, and then if you guys see it, if you're notified of it, maybe you can jump in earlier. So I do apologise for that, and I'm going to schedule another members one pretty soon, because of that, and also because my intention for the members one is originally it was for them to be longer. So you probably noticed now I only really do around 2 hours with the public, subscribers, public kind of streams. I only really do around 2 hours. I don't really go over that. And my intention, my intention for it is to make the members ones longer, so the members get like 3 hours, 4 hours, however long, we can do. So I do apologise that I will be going when Leon's back, but I am going to schedule that other members one in pretty soon. So it's probably going to be within the week. Jan, how do you see the heart-to-heart going? Anything you can tell me over what will be said and Caden's reactions to what I say or the outcome of this talk? How do you see the heart-to-heart going? Anything you can tell me over what will be said and Caden's reactions to what I say or the outcome of this talk? Okay. It seems very much like there's going to be a lot of kind of trying to it's not just going to be kind of like I feel this way, I've been thinking this. It's almost like he's going to try to make you understand and kind of, I don't want to say like make excuses, but make you understand why he's taken his time and why it's almost kind of being like stringing you along kind of thing, you could say. So it does seem like he wants to be very kind of open about, what I've been thinking, why I've been taking so long, what's been going on in, in other areas of life as well that have kind of impacted or affected like how my outlook or how I'm thinking about my love path and how I'm feeling about you and all those things. So it seems like he really wants to kind of lay out his like emotions, his thoughts and all of those things. Be very, very kind of explanatory, if that makes sense. And it does seem like as well that that's part of the reason why there is a little bit of like hesitation. Like it probably would just be easier to, move on, just, to do something new, or to just kind of ignore how I feel about Jan, like that kind of thing. It might be easier to do that. than kind of explain everything that he really wants to explain, which it does seem like it feels like it keeps going up in volume. It does feel like that there's a bit of complexity to it in the sense, in terms of other things, that have impacted his path as well, and his thoughts and his ideas and all of those things, not just the pure emotions, how I'm feeling, who I'm attracted to, and things like that. So it does seem like there's going to be, it's almost, what did we used to call it? There's a term for it when you just kind of come out with everything, like you just kind of come out with everything like right away. Well, it's not right away, of course, but anything you can tell me over what will be said and Cajun's reactions to what you say and the outcome. Okay. So Cajun's reactions to what you say, it seems almost like it's a little bit hard to hear. It's a little bit difficult to take that in. It does seem like his knowing that you're there, knowing that you have these feelings, knowing that because he knows that already. So it seems like hearing that, knowing that, it is difficult. It seems quite difficult in the sense that he, in a way, he knows that he kind of holds the power in a sense. I know that makes it sound like bad, but he does kind of know that it's on his terms a little bit. Like he does kind of know that, and that does make him feel bad. So there is this kind of feeling bad when you respond, when you say how you're feeling and things like that, because of course he does know, he knows, so there is that sense, like that does come through quite strongly, because it's not like it's not intended, it's not like I'm a player and I'm like trying to like play with your emotions, and I find it like fun, and making people fall in love with me is so fun. It's not really like that. So there is this kind of feeling bad as well, because he has known that it's been like that for a while. But there's also being more open to how it's resonating with how he feels, if that makes sense. So kind of like I kind of understand, come to terms with that I'm kind of feeling this way as well. Even though, like I said, and like I have seen, so as you know, with like your path has been there's so many like options on it, and it has changed quite a lot. It may not be that there's this one big, putting everything on the table straight away. It might come in bits at first, but this is really what comes, and this is really, and it does kind of seem like he's deciding on that as well, because it does seem a little bit like he knows that he does kind of have to lay it all out. He can't really kind of, once he decides to do it, he can't keep you on that string for much longer. So it's almost like trying to make that decision, like we have this big kind of let everything out, or is that Leon? We have this big kind of let everything out, or we kind of dance around it for a little bit longer, which he seems to be going off that kind of dancing around it for a bit longer kind of thing. Which I hope, for your sake as well, I hope that is the case. Because anything that's going to stop from backtracking and all of that. Sid, I'll send a message soon on the side I've been planning to go. Yes, please do that. Okay, so so Leon is here. So what I'm going to do, um, what I'm going to do is what I'm going to actually do. I'm going to screenshot the messages that are already here. So you will get a reply. You will get a reply to the ones that are here now. And whether we communicate over Leon saying he can wait. Are you sure? Okay, we'll do a little bit longer then. I just feel bad. There are things that are already in though. I know you can hear me. So I don't want them to go cold or anything. Okay, yes, I will stay on for a bit longer then. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, I do appreciate that. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I think I was up to sweat that if I'm not mistaken. I'm so sorry. Well, will my finances get to improve? Okay. Okay, so it does look like there's a few opportunities on your path. So it does look like there's a opportunity in the next month, and it does look like there's an opportunity that's more towards the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year. Or yeah, so next month or towards the end of the year, beginning of next year is what comes up most prominently. Angel card. You are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So you have Archangel Michael here as well. Just a message of protection, so that's always nice. But it's always nice. What I like about these cards as well is sometimes I'll pull one when I want to connect with the Archangel energy and I'm not sure which one. I'll pull one and just see which Archangel comes up. But protection for you, your loved ones, and your home, that's always nice. Jasmine, is he going to start putting in time and effort I desire from him? Will he take me on dates, and will he open up and talk more and give me the real intimacy I'm craving from him? Yes. Yes, I was seeing if I can get like a set time on this. It's not coming through, but it's kind of like this affirmation of it's this year, but not getting like a exact month or anything like that. But I'm getting a yes. Jan, does Kaden still know? I thought it was still music then. I was like, no. Does Kaden still know and recognize that him and are not romantically compatible, or is he ignoring it and opening up to the possibility? Okay. So it does seem that he contemplates this. It is something that goes through his mind that he does think about from time to time. But it does seem like he does kind of understand that kind of, that feeling of it being incompatible, and that feeling of kind of, I don't really feel like this is the one, or this is someone who, you know, I could see myself spending a good portion of time with, if not the rest of my life. That really feels to be quite forefront, like he knows that, he realises that, recognises that. Yes, so I'm up to Miss Venus's question, which is on Facebook now, so just bear with me for a moment. Oh, we should have drank that when I had the ice in it. The ice has melted, it's not as... It's almost gone warm. This is the warmest room in the house. I sometimes have to turn the radiator off in this room. Okay. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting because I get no to twin flame, but I'm getting yes to a karmic relationship that does have some past life connection to it. So some, you know, a connection in a past life where there's been something that they haven't quite completed that connection, or overcome that, whatever karma needed to be set, whatever lesson perhaps needed to be learned, was not quite fulfilled, overcome, closed, you know, completely. So yes, there is some connection that is, you know, it is spiritual, it is kind of rooted, it has, you know, a bit of a meaning to it, you could say, but it's not a twin flame connection. So I will check for you, are they meant to be together romantically? Okay, so I'm guessing a no on that. Miss Venus, next week is my first week seeing clients on my new job. How will it go? I'm always nervous that I won't be able to help them. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of positive energy. I'm really seeing, so it's interesting because you're saying like you're nervous, but I'm really seeing you being really in your power. You feeling really kind of like, I know it's always, you know, when we're in something new, we're doing something new, even if it's something that we're quite used to or quite trained in some way. When it's new or it's different, there's always going to be that nervousness, or there's always going to be that kind of maybe being, I don't know, cautious or something, or, you know, holding back a little bit, but it really seems like being in your power is really coming through, so that's really nice. Positive energy, being in your power, kind of, yeah, it seems quite, you know, reading the message and what is coming through feels quite different. It seems almost like things falling into place, you know, like things falling into place, like there could be challenges, of course, you know, it's a challenging environment, but generally, and the overall kind of energy is it's very powerful energy, and it is a falling into place kind of energy. It's almost like, just, I wouldn't say like there's something so, you know, I don't know how to say, like something so, you know, magical about it, like it's just this like wondrous thing that's not work, you know, it's not like that, but it's kind of like, it's just feeling like things just are just aligning better and feeling luckier. Things are aligning better. Things are flowing a bit smoother. You know, almost like being more aware of myself as well. Being more like balanced in holistic, like rounded energies, if that makes sense. It seems really nice. Thank you, Sid. Thank you. Yeah. So let me see actually if I can check that now. Bear with me one moment. I will just see if I can just check that for you now. Oh, I missed it. I missed a question from you there as well, so sorry about that. If you want that included, I'm so sorry, my nose is running like crazy. If you, because I know you're choosing for your 6-month member, so this is probably a good time to bring that up anyway. Guys, everyone in here is a member, so if you're a 6-month member, if you have a yellow badge, you need to choose a thank you gift. So I know, Sid, I know yours is kind of like, well, I would say crystal ball, because it's not pendulum, because it's not just yes or no. So if there is some questions that I'm really sorry if I've missed, that you want to add to your questions, then you're very welcome to do that. But I will check this now. Okay, so I'm just focusing on this listing at the moment. Let me chat back there. I'm guessing a no on that. I'm really sorry to say. I'm guessing a no there. Delphine, what is the current energy between L and S? Will they last? Okay. So there does seem to be hitting some kind of hurdles, if you will, speed bumps, if you will. It does seem to be kind of hitting some issues, but there does seem to be quite a good chance of lasting. There does seem to be quite a good chance. Yeah, Sid, I totally understand if you're hoping for one and they pick up another. It's not the best. Aries, pregnancy timeline for my guy and us conceiving. Okay. September. I'm guessing September there. New soulmates in terms of personality. No, that's okay. It's okay. It's just that for this, sometimes like broad questions can bring up a lot, and if a lot's coming through, if there's like looks, personality, work, all these things coming through, it may just take a bit of time, you know. So just try. You can ask as many questions as you guys like, but just try to be a bit specific with them. So So personality. Personality of new soulmate. Yeah. Okay, so there's a very motivated energy, which does seem to extend to like work and looking after themselves as well. You know, like maybe fitness comes into that, like looking after themselves, maybe eating well. You know, being a bit kind of the ability and the kind of intention, or I don't know if intention is the right word, but the ability to upkeep a routine, if you will. So being very disciplined is the right word. Disciplined. So very kind of disciplined kind of energy, motivated and disciplined kind of energy. Um, there also seems to be kind of like a bit of a a balance to that. So there's this very motivated, very disciplined kind of energy, but there's also this, you know, it's not in the sense of like, oh, I always have to be working, I always have to be doing something. There does seem to be this balance of being able to also relax, being able also to, you know, yeah, relax, chill, let one's hair down, if you will. You know, there does seem to be kind of be that energy as well. So, um, in you know, I think this comes in routine as well, in like giving yourself enough time for just like wind down kind of time, or time to yourself, time for other people, time, you know, if you can have a good routine and schedule things well, then I suppose that does all come in to it in a balanced way, and it does seem to be that way. It does seem to be that kind of personality, and a great love for like entertainment as well. It does seem to be like, you know, enjoying having a laugh, enjoying kind of music really comes up, and humor, you know, being really kind of, I would say being made to laugh more than like being the joker, more than the one like making people laugh, if that makes sense. Like really loving, probably really loving like people who are funny, people who are really a laugh, you know. Um, and yeah, yeah, so music coming up as well is like a big kind of love. This is a very generous and kind of, how can I put it? So there's a very generous but a very kind of protective kind of energy as well. Like very generous, very giving, and very protective as well, but protective in a positive way. So I know we can, you know, protective can kind of go into like controlling sometimes, but it's not like that. It's a nice kind of protective, you know, a looking out for kind of energy. Really kind of, you know, kind of like a cautious, precautious kind of person, like put, putting people's, or your and people's safety first, safety, protection, feeling comfortable. So attentive, maybe you would say, like an attentive person as well. And there is another thing coming up that is quite a good listener as well, which is something I think, you know, we need more of those in this world, especially these days. Jan, on my subliminals I've been listening to lately, and affirmations to help my situation with Caden. So, all my subliminals. So sorry. So, I think what you're asking is, are subliminals and affirmations you've been listening to helping your situation with Caden, and if so, how? Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing a no on subliminals, but I'm guessing a yes on affirmations. So it could just be, it depends really. So it could just be that subliminals aren't in resonance with like you, or it could be in resonance with your situation, with the current situation. They might work really well for like getting you a job, but they're just not great with this situation. Or it could be the specific ones, the specific, how can I say, song, if you could call it a song, that you're listening to, or something like that, may not be, the right one for you, so I'm guessing no on subliminals, but yes to affirmations. So how? Let's look at how. Yeah, so it's in general, it seems to be like additional energy to honing in on that path, because as you know, or those paths, shall I say, because there is a bit of an openness, there is a bit of like more than one path, but it does seem that they are kind of resonating with honing in on those paths, kind of keeping those paths open, even you could say, but also helping with work as well, work that is present, work that is present is the right word, active present, so helping on that side, but also helping in its own way as well. Swetha, when will I get a job in CVS health company? Okay. Okay, I'm guessing like 4 months on that, so that's quite far. Aries, I saw 2 mourning doves right out my sliding glass backyard door. Was that a sign from my father or something else? If so, what kind of sign? Okay, sorry, I got a notification then that distracted me. Yes, Leon. Yes to you. Um, I think I got one from Sid. Oh yeah, I'll look at your message after this. Sorry, Aries. Let me get to Aries. But also let me put actually, I will put my finishing up in here because I don't want to leave Leon for too long. But I will still, even though I stayed, I will still schedule another one of these for within the week, because like I said, I really did want these to be more like, longer than 2 hours, basically like 3-4 hours. And public ones to be shorter. So Aries. Okay. Yeah, so I'm getting a sign from your father, and I'm getting kind of like this watching over you kind of energy, but there is also a bit more of a pinpointed message. So, some don't get me wrong, sometimes when they give us signs, it is literally just to say, I'm watching over you, I'm here, I'm protecting you, and things like that. But there is a bit more of a pinpointed message here, which is support in going off on your own to do something. So it's very much like a part of your life path is coming into more independence, more of like a free kind of independent kind of side to it, and there's a support to that. So there's a support to this endeavor, like maybe it's a work path, maybe it's a creative path, something like that, but there's support around that. Like, don't be too scared to take a leap of faith, if you will. Don't be too scared to take that, path of, or making your own path, in a sense, is more what it kind of alludes to. But yeah, very nice. Delphine, does P want me to reach out to him, and does he think I have moved on? Okay. Okay, so there is an energy of like thinking what I would say, thinking how I would reply if you reached out, but not very strongly a fully like wanting you to, if that makes sense. But there is this kind of almost like when you go through those scenarios in your head that aren't real, those scenarios that might happen, thinking about how I would respond, what you might say, how I would respond. So there definitely is a thinking about that. But does he think I have moved on? Let's check that. There seems to be a bit of worry about that. So it's not like I think you have or I think you haven't. There's kind of like a worry about maybe you have, worry about, yeah, there's a bit of worry. It's there is like a wondering, considering, thinking that you might have, but it's not like a, oh, she's definitely moved on 100%, like that kind of thing. But there's definitely a thinking about that. Miss Venus, do you see other men with romantic intentions approaching me in this current chapter, aside from, hopefully, my soulmate? If so, who do you see coming, and will they again affect my timeline? Okay. So it looks possible that there will be some interest, but it doesn't look likely that anyone will affect your timeline. Apart from there is this kind of energy of Omar coming up, and there is this kind of energy of, being less, how to say, like, I don't know if subtle is the right word, because I don't really necessarily think the message was subtle, but being more planned, if that makes sense. So like, not just saying like, oh, I have something for you, I might have something for you. More of a plan. So coming to you with more of a plan. Like something set in stone, like an actual, this is what I got you, or this is what I wanted to, where I want to take you, is more what comes through. So that does come up, that is likely to happen. But as far as, so sorry. As far as it affecting your timeline, it doesn't look like it will. It doesn't look like it will affect your timeline unless of course you go for it, because you're not not likely to entertain. I suppose if you're making the decision to go back with Omar, you may not be likely to entertain someone else. So in terms of timeline in that sense, it's more. It seems like more of a choice in a sense. But there is. It doesn't really look likely. It doesn't look likely that anything is going to affect that timeline. It doesn't really look likely. There's this possibility of Omar, but it's not really very prominent. I would say maybe 40% at most, being like kind of generous with it, I would say. Yeah. So I would say no. I know it's getting to the end of March, so it's definitely something to keep a track on and to keep a check of. But I would also maybe what I would do as well, because one thing that I do think with like Omar and everything is that it's okay if the soulmate, you connect with the soulmate and then you're kind of, you know, going in that full momentum with the soulmate, and then he reaches out to where maybe you might be kind of like, okay, I'm set on this path, it feels right, I'm leaving the past in the past. But, you know, if Omar was to message like tomorrow and no one else had reached out, the soulmate hadn't reached out, would that affect you inside? Would you want to or consider giving time to that, going back to that? It might be worth just kind of contemplating that a little bit with yourself, if you haven't already, because it is a very kind of, if they both reach out at a similar time, you know, what do? Go with the person who you already do have a connection with, or take a chance on this new person, you know? So it's not really to fault you in any way, whichever way you were to go, but I think maybe thinking about that and maybe how you would react if that were to happen, just in case, because it does seem like Omar is kind of wanting to, and more kind of, you know, contemplating, trying to bridge things in a romantic sense. Aries, what's the reason why my guy friend named Ray is popping back into my life? Is there any meaning or significance to why they're coming back into my life? Okay. Okay, so there's nothing negative here. There's nothing like this is, you know, something that you shouldn't put time into, or someone that you shouldn't like message. But in terms of like a deep meaning, like any past life connection or deep spiritual connection, it doesn't look like. It doesn't really look like there's anything that's, you know, a lesson still to be learned or a really deep connection. It doesn't seem that way. It does seem very kind of, it seems positive. It doesn't seem like there's anything negative, is what I'm saying, but it also doesn't seem like there's anything super deep and meaningful, if that makes sense. So it's positive, and we have those connections in our life, you know. We have those people who maybe they're not resonating with us on a spiritual level, maybe they're not like our soul family, but they can still be just as positive parts of our life. Jan, how does Kaden react or feel to insinuating they are in a relationship by putting a date on her socials? Will this cause conflict? Yeah, so I have looked into that already, and it did cause a bit of conflict. So he is aware of it, and there was a bit of conflict there, because although you know, because let's not forget that she isn't fully aware of everything going on in his head. So from her point of view, it's not as bad as maybe it might seem, even though I think sometimes when people, because I know that she's pushing boundaries, it's kind of bad because, you know, in that sense. Um, but yeah, when you consider that she doesn't know the full extent of you, or of, you know, the fact that he's still kind of holding on to that a bit. So it's not really kind of like as bad on her part, and I think that he kind of does understand that as well. Um, but in terms of they're not, in terms of their, but don't forget as well that he has also contemplated a little bit about, you know, kind of mulled that thought over in his mind and considered that maybe they could be a match romantically and not just in a friendly way. So when you think about it in that sense, it's just kind of like a leniency, I would say, I guess. But yes, it does cause conflict because he isn't really happy with it, or he wasn't happy with it at that time when he kind of brought it up and they kind of discussed that a little bit. Because don't forget, even though there is like a lot of positivity in that connection, a lot of the time, there still isn't a confirmed a confirmed title, if that makes sense. So even though even though he sees it from that point of view of her, it's not like she knows like you the extent with you and everything. Um, there's still this, you know, well, we haven't put like a title on our connection. It's not like we're not decided one way or the other. So um, it did cause conflict, but at the same time, with how their connection is and how he himself even has thought about it, it's almost like a giving her a bit of leniency, giving her a bit of leeway, if that makes sense. Is that friend that you saw Lino struggling with me or someone else? Okay, yeah, so I didn't see a specific person, so let me check on that. Because I know it has come through that he has feelings for you before, although they may be not super strong. We will see. We'll have a look at that. Okay, so I'm guessing a no on that. Um, I'm guessing a no on that. That was a little bit murky and a little bit difficult to kind of get to. So I would definitely. I think I might make a note myself to check that again. I know if we're finishing up here, but I will just perhaps I'll just message you and say it. Because it's interesting, you know, what he said and the fact that he has. I mean, you know, the extent of the feelings, maybe they're not super strong, but what he said to you and the fact that he does have some level of feelings for you. I would like to double check that, especially with it being murky. Um, sorry. The way I've typed this sentence, it's kind of like how is it Yoda speaks. I was gonna say yoga, how Yoda speaks, but yeah, it will jog my memory anyway. Oh, I don't like blowing. Sorry, I don't like blowing my nose on stream, and I unticked the members thing instead of clicking mute, so that was going to be really loud. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Um, sorry. Um, Now I'm discombobulated now. Oh, I'm really far down. Oh no, I'm not. There we go. What are Ad's true intentions towards me? Okay, true intentions towards me, Damini. Intentions of deepening the connection, intentions of getting to know each other more, perhaps spending more time together, perhaps. There's definitely this kind of desire for like desire for more kind of energy. That can be deepening a connection, that can be spending more time together, things like that. Aries, timeline for marriage proposal from my guy, please. Okay. Okay, so the most prominent thing I'm seeing here at the moment, it's February next year. Miss Venus, what are Omar's feelings and intentions with me at the moment? So, in terms of feelings, I definitely do feel this kind of, it's difficulty in letting go. There's like a difficulty in putting that in the past, which I know that you know, because of course there's this wanting to keep like communication channels open, wanting to keep things open, and you know, I suppose that from, you know, well, not an ex, but someone you've been dating's point of view, they can say, you know, I prefer you more as a friend, I see you as a friend, and in some cases that does happen, you know, I'm not saying that that never happens, but it just doesn't feel like that here. It just doesn't feel like the true intention is to just be friendly, to just keep things like open in a friendly way. It does really feel like there's an inability to really close that door in a romantic sense, and there does feel to be intentions of actually meeting up again, you know, spending time together. There does seem to be intentions to that, intentions for that. Yeah, that is what I'm seeing. And I know, you know, people who have dated or exes or anything, like, they can be friends, you know, but I just don't see it here. Jan, can you see any dates for an in-person meeting between me and Caden? Okay. So actually guessing like around this time, but next year. So that's interesting, like May, June time next year. Angel card, yes. Swetha, angel card. All is well. And it's Archangel, Jeremiah? I'm so bad at pronouncing the archangels. Jeremiah, I think. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. So that's interesting. So there could be something kind of aligning, kind of taking place on your path that is not fully recognised yet. Maybe it's just coming into play, maybe it's just kind of aligning on, and it's a hidden blessing. You will soon understand it, it will soon come to light. But everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to is very, very nice. So it's kind of that affirmation that you're on track, you know, which is always nice. I really love these angel cards. So I will go over, just in case, anyone did come in after I mentioned the cards we have, even though I may finish on my finishing up. I know I do have to get to Leon and to the food, but I will just mention it anyway. We'll see how far down we get. So we have Druid Wisdom, Shadow Healing, which crystal should I work with, Spirit Animal, Unicorn, Romance Angel Love card, and of course the Angel one that you just saw. But yeah, I might not get past that finishing up, but like I said, there will be another members one within the next week, and I might stick to the same time without having to go and make food next time. Delphine, why did P suddenly pull away from our connection when he said he was happy and everything was going well? Was he just leading me on? Okay. In a sense, I think I could say from how this looks that there's a little bit of like a leading you on kind of energy. It's almost kind of like I'm not fully committed, I'm not fully kind of decided on this, but I'm kind of, not letting that on. I'm not like letting that, I'm not expressing that, I'm not expressing that I'm not, maybe not ready. There definitely does feel to be like a not ready for a commitment, not ready for like a long-term kind of thing coming through. So I would say there's some level of leading you on, yes. Yeah, because it really feels to be like I'm kind of going with maybe what I think I want you, what I think you want me to do kind of energy. It does kind of come across like that. So I would say, yeah, it's to leading you on. It does seem like I'm not ready for commitment, but I'm kind of just going with what I think you want me to do. It really does feel like that kind of energy. Or maybe what I think is right as well. Pooja, how were End's mum's thoughts about me? That's a repeat question, I answered that. Jan, how did Caden feel when I told him that Koji was trying to flirt with me, but I kept my boundaries firm? He got really quiet when I mentioned that during a rant about drama with my rage group. So how did he feel when you told him about Koji trying to flirt? Okay. So it's interesting. It's not so much like a jealous energy. It's kind of like, it feels almost like I can't think of the right words to say. Like, I don't want to say like fear of missing out, because I don't think that's like the right phrase to use in this situation. But it's kind of like when how can I don't know how to express this, so let me just reread that. So I suppose in a sense it's kind of like, realizing, like that that actually is a thing, and that actually, because I think sometimes there's this kind of there is this kind of energy of Kaizen does, and I don't say this in a negative way. I don't see it as really purposefully stringing you along or purposefully like trying to play with your emotions. So I don't want you to take it wrong, but I do really pick up quite a lot that he understands that he does kind of hold the power um in this situation, because it's kind of like he's the one that needs to make the decision, and your decision is made. So as soon as he makes the decision, the relationship's either back on or it's completely over, So he does recognize that. So it's not from like a malicious standpoint. It's not from a like trying to mess with you standpoint or anything like that. But he does recognize that. So when things like this are brought to his attention, it's almost kind of like, oh yeah, even though I kind of have the power here, it doesn't mean that I will always have it, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that she couldn't decide to not, be feel like that about me anymore. It's not like she could. It doesn't mean that she can't suddenly decide to be with someone else or to like someone else. So yeah, it's kind of like it's difficult to describe it in a sense of like an emotion, but that's kind of how it feels. It's almost like I don't. That's not something that I'm always thinking about. I'm more thinking about me making my decision and then that affecting her, not her making a decision that affects me. So it's almost like, the tables turned kind of thing. Like it's a bit of a shock, a bit of a worry, kind of creeping up there. Hello, Elisa. Hello. Miss Venus. Yes, what's likely to happen in June? Okay, so I think that I was just checking Love Path in general, but I can't remember if it was specifically soulmate related now, or I know I asked you to clarify, but now I can't remember what the initial original question was. I know it was like because May's almost over. What's likely to happen in June? But I said like in Jan. Oh, I can't remember. I just can't think. Am I doing just soulmate or? Oh yeah, sorry. Prominent timeline in love for June since May is almost over. I feel like people are popping up out of nowhere, except for my soulmate. Okay, so I'll check. Okay, so I'll check prominence for soulmate in June, if not in the next week. And it's not even a week now. And then maybe some other things if anything else comes up, which was beginning to come up, but I was thinking, I was wondering if it was just soulmate or not. So let me just go back down there so I don't lose my spot. Yeah, so what I was seeing automatically initially come through was this Omar thing coming up. So there does seem to be it seems more. You beat me to the question? Wait. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so, sorry, getting distracted with the Facebook there. Yeah, so it's interesting because what I am seeing is something more with Omar. So I really think that this is an invite. I really strongly think that this is an invite, but it could be a really trying to pick up that communication. Um, every time I move, the camera moves. It could be really trying to pick back up that communication. You know, to try to bridge that, to try to get back to that level, to how things were. So it could be more that, but I'm really feeling it's an invite. I am really feeling it's an invite, and I do feel this in June, in this like month, still kind of current chapter time frame. I do feel this is quite prominent, and I do see as well. I think this is two other people showing interest as well, in the month of June, but it does really seem to be you're not resonating with that, you're not really like vibing with that. It does seem to be like you're not really giving that attention or any, you know, it doesn't really feel like you are giving that any attention or notice. It feels like it's just maybe messages, or, you know, being approached maybe even. I think it's messages more so than being approached, but yeah, I'm seeing two other people. So looking at soulmate now, because they're the other things that are coming through that aren't the soulmate. Yeah, so it really seems that it's imminent within this current chapter, this current, like, not moment, but, you know, this current kind of week, month kind of thing, or week or few weeks kind of thing, that you're, oh, okay, wait, let me start again with that. So within the next few days, if not already, you are in the attention of the soulmate. So they've seen you, they've seen something, they've seen your Instagram, maybe something that's been posted, they've seen something online. So you're all within their sight, their vision, their, you know, their knowledge, if you will. So it does seem like it still seems like within this like current chapter, this current energy, there is going to be a message. So it does seem like if there isn't reaching out in the next few days, because I know, like you say, there's only a few days left, it still feels like it's imminent. It still feels like it will be pretty soon, because you are in that like eye line now, if that makes sense. You've come to their attention, so it is looking more and more prominent, more and more imminent as we go on, which I know, you know, it's been a very long time, so that's not exactly the best thing to hear, you know. Yeah, or not the most hopeful thing to hear because it's been so long, but Alisa, will I be able to overcome trauma with my family, especially my mother? Thank you. Okay. Yes, there does seem to be, you know, this kind of gradual, ongoing kind of healing. Remember to keep up your self care and all of those things. But it does seem like, yes, it does seem like, you know, really strengthening yourself, really upkeeping your protections, if you will. And yeah, I just saw that, Miss Venus. What I would say is, I'm still, even though it is like literally how many, 5 days or something till the end of May, I'm still not seeing a block here. So maybe the rune, you know, is let me know, did you get that rune? I'm sure you did. I'm almost certain you did. Maybe the rune is speaking some truth, you know, that the ball isn't quite getting there, but yeah, I still feel it's not a block. I don't see like something's going to block your path, something's going to come in the way. Maybe you make a decision with Omar, you know, if he is more is comes to you with a more committed and more kind of um more committed kind of energy, maybe you make that decision, but of course that's your decision. Not something blocking you from making your decision. So that's would at least be positive still. Jasmine, I realise I'm having a hard time letting R go because we go places and he introduces me to a lot of universal knowledge. Will those types of experiences I'm used to and craving from Phil carry on to him? Okay, so will Phil be introducing you to similar things? Sorry, getting distracted by Facebook. Okay, I need to stop. So will Phil introduce you to similar things? So I'm guessing a no on that. Unfortunately, I'm guessing a no on that. It does seem a bit different, like a different kind of experience. Miss Venus, I'm wondering if the guidance for me is to reject all invites to go out for dinner and continue to sit and wait until my soulmate arrives, or else it will mess my timeline. Um, I will check that, but to be honest, I think, let me check, but I think that the only kind of person I've noted to kind of change the timeline is Omar, but let me check. I don't want to say that if the ball will say something else, or see if I can confirm it. Yes, it does seem like it doesn't seem like anyone that you speak to or spend time with or anything like that is going to always, like, every single person's going to affect it. It doesn't seem like that now. Kevin, did B and A talk about me this month? If so, what did they say exactly? Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing that you've come up in conversation a few times actually. It doesn't seem to be just once, but it seems to be a little bit more fleeting. It doesn't really seem to be like there's an in-depth discussion or anything like that. It does seem to be a little bit fleeting. We'll just see if we can pinpoint any of these conversations and what it was. Okay, so A, asking B, what do you like? What do you think about Kevin? I would say is kind of like the question being asked here. Yeah, so it actually does seem kind of like A is trying to get a bit more of a deep conversation there, and it's kind of brushed off. So it's kind of like, it's almost like trying to gauge something, trying to get a little bit more of a deep conversation going, and then it's kind of brushed off. Yeah, it seems very dismissive. Like on B's part, it seems to be very kind of like, you know, very kind of a blasé response with a kind of like a why. And A is kind of like stepping back a little bit after that, kind of like moving on past that. Whereas initially it does seem like he wanted more of a conversation to a discussion to come up. So that's interesting. Yeah, but there does seem to be two more times, but I'm not seeing clearly exactly what they are. Jan, is Caden subtly trying to show me his preference for me over M since he knows I know about them hanging, like on the 20th, when he's supposed to hang with her instead. He hung with me all night. I apologised and he was very adamant on telling me he wanted to hang with me and to stop apologising. He kind of got upset that I was apologising. It doesn't really seem like he's subtly trying to show you that you're his preference, but it does seem like he's kind of almost proving to himself, if that makes sense. Like, because like I said, you know, there's this there is this desire to really make that firm decision. So it's kind of almost like proving just to himself that you are the preference or who is the preference. Yeah. Elisa, my question about physical alignment, will I be able to embody again my spiritual self? A few things threw me off. Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. Question about physical alignment. Will I be able to embody my spiritual self again? A few things threw me off. Let me see. I just saw... the question on trauma. But let's see. So if you mean, will I be able to embody my spiritual... Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to ask because I'm really sorry. It's just me, but I don't really understand it. So if you can maybe phrase it in a different way or something, maybe that might help. Do you still see me moving to another country soon? Delphine, okay. Yes. Yes. So that's fine, don't worry. Miss Venus, oh interesting, so what changed Omar's mind in wanting to initiate dates again? Does he intend to pursue me again then? Or what will he do? Yes, I do pick that up. That is kind of how I feel. It's definitely in a romantic sense. It's definitely in a romantic sense. And I do feel like it's with what I'm seeing. It's like it could be that it's more just trying to pick back up kind of like conversation, pick back up kind of being in contact more regularly, you know, in actually communicating and contact more regularly. But I really feel like that will be an invite. I do feel there'll be an invite, you know, for food, to a restaurant or drinks or something like that. But I do feel that. Swetha, do you see me getting any other job before August? Okay. It seems quite low prominence, but I wouldn't say no. I would just say it's quite low prominence. We can always, so when something's low prominence, it just means that it's our lesser path. It's not as likely, but that doesn't mean we can't do it. We can all kind of amplify those lesser paths if we want to. Those things that are maybe like a small chance for us to do, but we can do it. So it's possible. Pooja, how does Anne feel about the bond we had in the past in comparison to his connection with A? Okay. I definitely think that there's regret. I definitely feel regret here, but it doesn't really seem to be like a there isn't really an energy of like romanticizing the past and comparing it so much, if that makes sense, which may be kind of the issue with it, with him, in a way, because you know when a connection is very compatible and very positive, like you guys, it's it might be a good thing, you know, to compare and to like have that kind of longing for that. But it doesn't really seem like that is the case. So it doesn't really seem to be too much in the sense of comparison, comparing it. A love card for Jan. Oh, interesting. Sorry, I was just reading Sid's question. All I can see is Jan's. So it says new love, but it's upside down. So that's really kind of interesting and self-explanatory in a sense, because it tends to mean, when it's the right way, of course, that a new love's coming into your path. When it's the wrong way, it tends to point to not someone new, possibly someone from the past, you know? Not someone new. So that's interesting. Miss Venus, by the way, Venus, your shirt is super cute. You look beautiful. It gives me fall vibes. Love the colours. Yes, I do really like this one. I like the sunflowers on there. And I do kind of like how it kind of has room to show my tattoos a little bit as well. But thank you so much. That's very, very sweet of you. Very nice. Thank you very much. Sid, I can't see any other questions. Oh yeah, I just read that. Shayna, what are the chances of me finding a stable job position within the next 4 months? Okay. I'm guessing 60% there, so it's not the greatest, but it is slightly more prominent. So yeah, so it is more. It's still the more prominent path. It's just not, you know, a super high number like we want, like 90 or 100%. But absolutely, don't let anything, you know, that I say or anyone else says to bring you down or to stop you from trying, from applying, and all of those things. The best of luck to you and love, light, and blessings. And I really am a firm believer that even the smaller paths we can align onto and kind of like amplify. So, you know, something that's 60 is easy to amplify. So, oh yeah, why I'm reading that message over and over again. I'm finishing up. So I did ask Elisa to restate that question. Maybe my chat's frozen perfectly onto where I said finishing up or something. Oh yeah, it has. It has. My chat has frozen exactly where I put finishing up. So let me just see if I have the chat here. It's just not as easy to read. So let me just see if I can see. It's such a weird place to freeze. So did Elisa reply? Let me see. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Maybe she jumped out. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, my nose, honestly. It's just running every 2 seconds. Really sweet. So just reading the last comments here. Really, really sweet. You guys are really sweet. No, Pooja, you didn't have to rewatch. I will read. What was the question? I can't remember. Hold on, let me just find that. Yeah, so Anne's mum's thoughts about you. I will redo that and I will send that to you. Let me just find. I will just type it to Leon. Anne's mum's feelings. I will type that to you. So yeah, so I'm going to go now. I'm going to finally make the food. But thank you guys so much for being so kind and understanding and everything like that. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to check that as well. That oh no, you messaged me with what rune you got, didn't you? Yeah, I saw that. Wait, why does it say? Why does it say I will stop? Oh, okay, sorry, I'll stop. Oh, to me about the Facebook. Yeah. No, it's nice. It's nice. I saw the sticker and it distracted me. So love, light, and blessings to you guys. Thank you so much for putting up with me and my running off and my nose and my throat and everything like that. I do really, really appreciate it. I'm going to do a poll about the next one because I'm going to do another member stream within the next week, like I said, and it'll be all members. But I'm going to do a poll for it because 6 p.m. does seem to be a good time for most of you, so I'm hoping maybe that will remain, but we'll see. I will see, and it will be a day that Leon is off, so he can cook. So love, light, and blessings to each of you, and I really do hope to see you soon. And don't forget as well, if there is a members stream and you can't make it, as well, so that is another thing, like trying to combat time zone, sorry. If there is a member stream and you can't make it, then send me a few questions by message. So any member stream that you see, if you think I can't make that, it's too early or it's too late or I'm at work or whatever, just send me a few questions in email, Facebook, Discord, anything like that, and I will be sure to answer them even if you are not on stream, so don't worry. If you can't make it, you'll still get some questions answered. Yeah, so I think that's everything I have to say for now. We have a stream every day, tomorrow, the next day, and the day after, so I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys soon. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. So love, light and blessings. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything, and I hope to see you soon.